Geno Smith, Redemption Arc Chapter 2. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about the career revival of Geno Smith. Last season, Geno Smith proved his doubters wrong by having a career year at the age of 32 as he took the Seahawks to a surprising playoff appearance. Geno Smith played so well last year that he ended up earning a new contract and even making the Pro Bowl. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. Are the Seattle Seahawks legit contenders in the NFC with Geno Smith at quarterback? And my answer to that question is absolutely. Of course, with Geno Smith at quarterback, the Seattle Seahawks are legitimate contenders in the NFC. Not necessarily because I think Geno Smith is an elite quarterback. Heck, I don't even think Geno Smith is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. But you know what really matters? The conference that you play in. And in the conference that Geno Smith plays in, there are a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFC. There are a lot of unproven quarterbacks in the NFC. And Geno Smith is actually proven. Yes, somebody could say that Geno Smith has only had one good season at quarterback, but that's already better than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFC. I mean, look, the best quarterback in that division right now that the Seattle Seahawks play in is possibly Geno Smith, because let's talk about some of these other quarterbacks that are in the NFC West. The Arizona Cardinals, they have Kyler Murray at quarterback. He hasn't really proven himself at the NFL level. Yeah, he had that 1 year he took the Arizona Cardinals to the playoffs, but he sucked so bad in that playoff game that I have legitimate doubts whether or not he can actually be a franchise quarterback in the National Football League. And then, of course, there's Matthew Stafford. He's the quarterback for the LA Rams. I respect Matthew Stafford. He had a great playoff run in 2021, but right now he's one injury away from retirement. If somebody injures his back one more time, Matthew Stafford is going to have to go into retirement. And even if Matthew Stafford doesn't get injured, he's already getting old anyways. He only has 2 to 3 more years left in this game at most. I highly doubt that he'll even make it that far in his career. Matthew Stafford was a great quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback anymore. Matthew Stafford at this point of his career is injury prone and effectively washed. And then, of course, you look at the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people seem to be in love with the San Francisco 49ers in terms of trendy Super Bowl picks, and I get it because of the fact that they've got Christian McCaffrey, because of the fact that they got Deebo Samuel, because of the fact that they got George Kittle, because of the fact that they got the great defense that they have in San Francisco and the great coaching of Kyle Shanahan. And I think San Francisco can be a valid football team. However, I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction and say that the San Francisco 49ers are going to go ahead and underachieve this season. I think the San Francisco 49ers are only going to end up making the NFL playoffs as a wild card team because of the fact that they have quarterback instability. Like I said yesterday when I was talking about the Washington Commanders, when I was comparing between them and the San Francisco 49ers, no head coach can be able to scheme the situation that they have at the quarterback position. A team that has Brock Purdy, who has only proven himself for about 8 games, a team that has Trey Lance, who they gave up 3 first-round picks for, and they don't even feel good about playing him on the football field. And then, of course, they have the draft bust Sam Darnold on their roster. And when I look at those 3 quarterbacks, I can't be sold with any of them. I know that Brock Purdy, he played inspiring football when Jimmy Garoppolo went down to injury last season, but I'm still not convinced with Brock Purdy because of the fact that he basically tore his elbow and he's going to have to play off of it. And guys that are coming back from elbow surgery, they don't play good when they come back right away. But we'll see what happens. I'm not that high on the San Francisco 49ers, but the thing is though, I think that the San Francisco 49ers are actually the biggest competitors to the Seattle Seahawks in terms of winning the NFC West, because when you look at the LA Rams, yeah, they got Matthew Stafford, yeah, they got Cooper Kupp, yeah, they got Aaron Donald, but outside of those 3 guys, they don't really have a deep team whatsoever. Their running back 1 right now is Cam Akers, who is unproven at best. I know Cam Akers had an interesting 2021 playoff run, but outside of that stretch, Cam Akers hasn't really proven himself whatsoever. They just had one of the running backs retire early in football in Sony Michel. So the LA Rams, they're going to struggle running the football, and if they get injury to one of those key players on the LA Rams, they are going to be toast in the NFC. And then, of course, the Arizona Cardinals, I'm really low on them. I got them being the worst team in football. Yeah, they got Kyler Murray, but outside Kyler Murray, who else do the Arizona Cardinals got? They're in a massive rebuilding situation. And speaking of Kyler Murray, he might not even be ready for the start of the season because he's coming off of torn ACL. He tore the ACL in December, and even if he comes back in week 1, he's not going to be 100% because guys that tear their ACLs in December do not come back week 1 of the following season in 100% form. So I think the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams, they're going to be trash this year. They're not going to be playoff relevant in the NFC. So to me, when it comes to the NFC West, the only competition that the Seattle Seahawks really have is the San Francisco 49ers, but I've already said that the San Francisco 49ers have quarterback instability. Their quarterback instability is going to cost the 49ers some games, particularly late in the season when they're going to have to play switcheroo with Trey Lance, with Brock Purdy, and with Sam Darnold, all playing hot potato at the quarterback position. No coach can be able to out-scheme that kind of situation. I don't care if you're Kyle Shanahan. I understand that Kyle Shanahan is a great football head coach, but not even the best head coach of all time could probably even win with that quarterback room. So to me, that leaves the Seattle Seahawks as the team that I got to go ahead and pick to win the NFC West. I think the Seattle Seahawks are entirely being slept on. I like their additions in the draft. I like the fact that they added Jaxon Smith-Njigba with the 20th overall pick. That makes the Seahawks offense even more stacked. You think about how the Seattle Seahawks, they got Kenneth Walker IV running the football. They've got Tyler Lockett catching the football. They've got DK Metcalf, who's really good at wide receiver. They've got Jaxon Smith-Njigba, who is arguably the best rookie receiver in this draft class. When you look at the Seattle Seahawks wide receiver room, they are stacked in that area. They might have a top 5 receiving core. That's how high I am on the Seattle Seahawks receiving room. And as for the offensive line, which was a main talking point during the Russell Wilson era, they're actually good now. Charles Cross was a solid left tackle for the Seattle Seahawks last season. I expect he'll take another step forward. He might even become an elite left tackle. That's how high I am on Charles Cross. The Seahawks offensive line, they're solid. They can run the football. They can throw the football. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Yeah, he might not necessarily be proven over a long course of time, but in the NFC, that might be good enough because right now, the best NFC quarterback is Jalen Hurts. And then who else? Do we really trust Dak Prescott? Do we really trust Kirk Cousins? Do we really trust Jared Goff? Because these are some of the other top quarterbacks that you could be arguing with over Geno Smith. I'm not saying that Geno Smith is the second best quarterback in the NFC. I'm just saying that the second best quarterbacks in the NFC all have questionable resumes when you talk about football because those guys do not win the big games more often than not and they are inconsistent. The Seattle Seahawks also made improvements on the defensive end of the field as well, adding Devon Witherspoon with the 5th overall pick. I love that pick for the Seattle Seahawks because they're going to get better on the defensive side of the field now with him playing cornerback. They found their new version of Richard Sherman. He's a physical corner. He's going to make plays happen with the football. When he is thrown his way, he's going to be a shutdown corner. They've also got Jerron Reed at defensive end as well. He's a solid player in there as well. They also re-signed Bobby Wagner. That's going to be a solid addition for them. He's a veteran presence that can make plays happen with the football. And of course, they've got Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams at the safety positions. Those are solid safeties that we are talking about. Yeah, Jamal Adams might get burned in coverage sometimes, but he's really good with run support. And don't forget about the Woolen guy. He's the other cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks. He's an effective player that can shut down the opposing receiver as well. This Seahawks team has talent all over the place. I'm not saying that this is a Super Bowl caliber team, but this is definitely a team that can win the NFC West and they could make some noise in the NFC this season. This is a team that I can see going 12-5 and surprising people as they will end up winning the NFC West. Geno Smith is going to have a Pro Bowl caliber season with the weapons that he has. Geno Smith is going to be a distributor of the football. He's going to play effective football. Now, do I think Geno Smith is going to show up in the playoffs? I kind of have doubts about that because Geno Smith didn't play so well in the first playoff game that he was in last year. I'll give him a pass for how bad he played in the playoff game last year, but that's only because that was his first playoff appearance and he was playing against a dominant 49ers defense. But with the improved roster of the Seattle Seahawks, I expect Geno Smith to show out in the playoffs this year and I expect him to make the most out of this roster. Geno Smith is not an elite quarterback, but he is a quarterback that can definitely get the job done. That's for sure. I got them losing the NFC divisional round though. I don't think this is a team that can beat the Philadelphia Eagles because of the fact that the Eagles defensive line is so strong and because of the fact that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Geno Smith. The Seattle Seahawks defense will be better, but they're not as good as some of these other defenses that we were talking about in football, like the Philadelphia Eagles, like the Washington Commanders, like the San Francisco 49ers defense even, although I do think they are a better overall team than the 49ers. At the end of the day though, Geno Smith, he's got to go ahead and continue playing good football. If he can do that, then this is a team that can win the NFC West for sure. I think this is a team that can certainly surprise a lot of people, and although some people are picking them to make the playoffs, it's not nearly enough to my satisfaction. I need to see more conviction in the mainstream media in terms of believing in the Seattle Seahawks. I need to see more conviction in people saying that Geno Smith is the best quarterback in the NFC West, because right now there's not really much of a debate for that in my opinion. Geno Smith just made the Pro Bowl last year. He just threw for 30 touchdowns, and I expect him to do that again with the weapons that he has in his disposal. So that is why the Seattle Seahawks are legit contenders in the NFC with Geno Smith at quarterback this season. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @Dustin_Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin_Tran. and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.